In The Laws of Human Nature, Robert Greene offers a masterclass on understanding the hidden drives behind human behavior. We're gonna be doing a detailed breakdown of this book, and by the end of this video, you're going to have a clear understanding of how you can use the laws of human nature to live a better life and avoid toxic relationships. Law 1. The Law of Irrationality, Mastering Emotions. Imagine that you're in control, planning your life with logic and reason. Yet as Robert Greene explains, emotions, subtle, unseen forces, are truly at the helm, steering our actions in ways we often don't notice. Desires, fears, and insecurities shape our reality more than we realize. Recognizing the immense sway that emotions hold over our decisions and learning to spot them in action is the first step to mastery. This isn't about being devoid of feelings, but about cultivating an awareness of when emotions could cloud your judgment. Recognize moments when envy or anger influence you, or when excitement blinds you to potential consequences. Mastering your irrational self means bringing these emotions into the light and questioning them. In doing so, you gain an edge over others who remain slaves to their whims, and you can navigate life with clarity and purpose. When you master your emotions, you master life. Law 2. The Law of Narcissism, Recognize Self-Absorption. In every person, even the most humble, lies a deep-rooted self-love. Greene points out that people crave validation, appreciation, and recognition, often more than they openly admit. By understanding that everyone is, in some way, motivated by this need, you gain insight into their behavior. Recognizing this trait in yourself allows you to grow more self-aware and authentic. Recognizing it in others, on the other hand, allows you to build connections and influence. Speak to others' need for validation in a genuine way, offering praise and appreciation without falling prey to manipulation. This approach can deepen relationships and foster loyalty. But Greene warns, always be mindful of the dangers of your own narcissism, as it can cloud judgment and sabotage relationships. Law 3. The Law of Role-Playing, The Masks We Wear. Everyone wears a mask, a carefully crafted facade designed to conceal true intentions and vulnerabilities. Greene advises us to look beyond this surface, to notice subtle cues, body language, tone, and fleeting expressions that can reveal a person's genuine emotions. By observing and studying these signals, you gain the ability to understand what lies beneath the facade. This allows you to better anticipate others' intentions and form more authentic connections. We are all role players to some degree. By learning to decipher the mask, you gain a clearer view of reality. Law 4. The Law of Compulsive Behavior, Patterns of Action. Human behavior is rarely random. Greene explains that we're creatures of habit, bound by patterns of behavior that reflect our character. These patterns repeat themselves over time, often predictably. By studying the compulsive behaviors of those around you, you gain foresight into how they will act in future situations. This can provide an advantage in personal and professional relationships. Recognize compulsive tendencies within yourself as well, as they often reveal deeper issues and motivations. Awareness of these patterns equips you with the ability to break free from limiting habits and evolve into a more conscious, adaptable person. Law 5. The Law of Covetousness, The Desire for the Unattainable. Human nature is filled with the desire for things we cannot easily obtain. This tendency drives ambition, envy, and sometimes even self-destruction. Greene warns that this longing can be a powerful motivator, but also a trap, as it can lead us to sacrifice meaningful connections or values in pursuit of a hollow ideal. By understanding this desire for what's out of reach, you can channel it purposefully without allowing it to control you. Greene advises that we must be mindful of its limits to avoid the destructive consequences that come from unchecked covetousness. Law 6. The Law of Short-Sightedness, The Trap of Immediate Gratification. Many people seek short-term pleasure, often sacrificing long-term fulfillment for the thrill of immediate rewards. Greene cautions against this tendency, urging us to think in terms of years, not moments. Pursuing lasting success requires the ability to resist the pull of instant gratification. By focusing on long-term goals, you develop the resilience and patience that set you apart from those who chase quick results. This approach to life opens paths that others, blinded by the short term, may never see. Law 7. The law of defensiveness. Handling criticism gracefully. No one enjoys criticism. For most, it triggers a defensive response, pushing us to argue or justify our actions. Green reveals that the art of persuasion lies in lowering others' defenses, meeting criticism with calm rather than confrontation. Learning to manage both your reactions and others' resistance is a powerful skill. By approaching criticism without defensiveness, you stay in control of the conversation and often disarm others. This skill makes you a more effective communicator and enables you to influence people without unnecessary conflict. Law 8. The law of self-sabotage. Recognizing internal obstacles. Sometimes we are our own worst enemies. Self-sabotaging behavior, fueled by insecurity and doubt, often prevents us from reaching our true potential. Green emphasizes the importance of identifying the fears, habits, or beliefs that hold us back. Recognize these tendencies within yourself and confront them directly, rather than allowing them to sabotage your dreams. Once you acknowledge your internal obstacles, you have the power to overcome them, building a pathway to success that is free from self-imposed barriers. Law 9. The law of repression. The hidden forces within. Every person has emotions they suppress: anger, jealousy, even love. But according to Green, repression leads to unintentional outbursts, passive aggression, and hidden resentment. By observing others' repressed emotions, you gain insight into their hidden motivations. Repression often manifests in subtle ways. Understanding it equips you to navigate complex social dynamics with greater skill. Recognize repressed emotions in yourself as well, for in doing so, you gain control over your inner forces and free yourself from hidden tensions. Law 10. The law of envy. Navigating the green-eyed monster. Envy is a deeply concealed emotion, one that lurks behind compliments, friendships, and even admiration. Green urges us to understand envy's subtle presence, both in ourselves and in others. Acknowledging it helps maintain peace and protects relationships from the subtle, often hidden dangers that envy brings. By learning to navigate envy, understanding how it manifests, and how to deflect it, you gain a deeper sense of security and self-respect. Law 11. The law of grandiosity. Staying grounded in success. Success, if unchecked, can lead to a feeling of invincibility. But grandiosity, Green warns, is a trap that blinds us to reality and often results in a fall. Staying grounded, even in moments of great accomplishment, reminds you that success is fleeting. Humility opens the door to further growth, while arrogance limits your perspective. By recognizing this tendency in yourself and others, you can stay focused on the journey, continuing to learn and adapt. Law 12. The law of gender rigidity. Embracing your full nature. Each of us possesses both masculine and feminine qualities. Green argues that embracing this duality, balancing strength with sensitivity, logic with intuition, allows us to navigate the world more effectively. Rejecting rigid gender roles enables a deeper approach to relationships and enriches our personalities. By embracing these diverse aspects, we cultivate flexibility and adaptability, leading to a fuller, more balanced life. Law 13. The law of aimlessness. Finding purpose. Life without purpose is like a ship without a rudder. Green emphasizes the importance of finding your why. A clear sense of purpose directs your energy towards meaningful goals, bringing clarity and focus to your actions. Living with intention transforms aimless drifting into purposeful progress. Those who embrace purpose are not just living, they're living with clarity and control. Law 14. The law of conformity. Breaking from the crowd. Humans are social creatures with a strong inclination to follow the crowd. Green encourages us to recognize this pull and to resist it. Trust your inner compass, standing firm in your own values and beliefs. In doing so, you retain your individuality and strength, distinguishing yourself as a leader rather than a follower. Embrace the power of independent thought, and you'll find new opportunities where others only see limitations. Law 15, the law of fickleness, accepting the changing nature of loyalty. Loyalty is often more fragile than we'd like to believe. Green points out that allegiances can shift, emotions wane, and people's loyalty changes. By accepting this reality, you can protect yourself from the pain of misplaced trust. Embrace the shifting nature of human relationships, and you'll be better prepared to navigate the inevitable changes in your connections with others. Law 16, the law of aggression, handling conflicts with wisdom. Aggression is an inherent part of human nature, even if it's hidden or suppressed. Green encourages us to recognize this presence without fear. By understanding aggression in its subtle or overt forms, you can respond thoughtfully. Learn to diffuse tension when possible and stand your ground when necessary. This balanced approach allows you to manage conflicts with wisdom and insight. Law 17, the law of generational myopia, learning from every age group. Each generation has a unique perspective shaped by culture and experiences. Green suggests that we look beyond our generational biases, learning from the perspectives of both older and younger individuals. By embracing these diverse viewpoints, you gain insights into the broader human story and avoid the myopia that comes from living in an echo chamber of like-minded people. Law 18, the law of death denial, embracing mortality for a full life. Most people avoid thinking about death, but Green argues that embracing mortality is essential for a purposeful life. When we accept that life is finite, we stop wasting time on trivial pursuits. Embracing mortality brings clarity, freeing us to make meaningful choices, treasure each moment, and live with intention.